Hey whales, good morning. Happy Thursdays, March 13th, pre-market here. Let's review and go over Tesla. As you guys know from my previous videos, I have cash ready to go into Tesla, ready to have a bigger position. And basically, I'll tell you sort of what I'm looking at in terms of when I'm going to be buying. And just a disclaimer, it's going to be very soon, right? So here's exactly the video that you need in order for my sentiment. Right, so let's break it down. All right, so with that said, for Tesla, guys, very interesting update. Okay. Now, I mentioned in my past video that we are due for a relief rally. Okay. So I'm looking to see whether or not Tesla has officially bottomed and if we can go higher. Okay. So let's go over the first scenario. Let's say that this is the bottom for Tesla for now, right? A relief rally. Well, if I dig deeper into the smaller time frames, what I'm looking at on Tesla is whether or not from these lows we put in 5 waves, right? Because if we put in 5 waves, that's bullish to me. So we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? That could be a potential 5 waves here. And then now we're looking at a corrective sequence where we're coming down for an A wave, going up for a B wave, and then coming down for a C wave before we can pump up here. Okay, and then all of this would be a wave 1, wave 2, 3, 4, 5 towards the upside. Okay. So what am I looking at? Well, if this is the low, and if we take the retracements from the swing lows to the swing highs, I really need Tesla to essentially hold between 238 down to 225, guys. Right? If Tesla can hold these levels and we can reverse, especially from that 230 mark, right, and push up, I do believe the bottom was in. We then have a target at 260. Okay. Now that's very important because now we made the first higher low. Okay. So we're waiting to see whether or not on this dip that's about to occur, if Tesla can hold 230 down to 225, right? This is very important levels, right? Now, if it can't, what I do see Tesla doing then is we do have one more corrective sequence towards the downside here. And what I'm going to be taking is sort of the swing lows, swing highs of the fib retracements and extensions projecting out on the 4th wave. And now we have a target between 209 to 153 for this last flush down. And that also makes sense to me, guys, because the reason why, okay, 3, 4, 5 before we push up. The reason why is because if you take a look on the indicators as well, on the daily time frame, we don't have bullish divergence yet, guys. We don't have bullish divergence. So what does this mean? This means that this could possibly be the 3rd wave, 4th wave coming up, 5th wave coming down before we push up. Okay, so this would be the bullish divergence where price now is going lower, but indicators are moving higher, right? So that's something I'm also making sure I keep a lookout for, right? Is this sustained bounce? Or is this bounce sustainable? Or do we have one more tranche towards the bottom, closer to 209, 180, 170? Right? That's the question. Secondly, you can make the case that this is actually just 3 waves, right? A, B, C. Okay? Because if you take a look as well, let's take some fib levels here. Right? Actually, A, B, C here. Look at this. 3 waves. We're at the 1-to-1. So this level here is indicative of a bearish sequence as well. So if it's just 3 waves, then this is a corrective sequence, and then we have 5 waves coming down, right? So that's why if we're looking at Tesla, we need Tesla to hold this 230 level at least, right? 230 to 225 for this to potentially just be a 1, 2, and then a 3 going up, okay? So that's sort of where I am at, guys. Now, if you're trying to long Tesla here, my suggestion would be to look at these levels here for a buy and then stop loss underneath maybe these lows, okay, maybe 220, right? Because then you get stopped out, okay, and then you can re-enter back down at, sort of the green box areas if you want to go for there, right? So that's sort of my recommendation if you're trying to trade this in the future here. Okay. Now, if you're a long-term investor, again, this doesn't really matter to you because eventually I do have Tesla going up to 520. I do have Tesla going up to 1,000, 2,000 in the long term. So anywhere around these levels make complete sense for you to continue accumulating. Coming from a trader's mindset, this is for my sort of purposes only, right? Because I have to make an income for my family, for my kids. So this is very important to me to understand the shorter time frames. But if you're a long-term investor, don't worry, guys, right? Just keep accumulating and you'll be just fine. Okay. Talk to you guys soon. Have a great rest of your Thursday.